You telling me they just got rid of the Mr. Tendernism, the one that slaying the meat off the bone and it fall off the bone? Because the owner wanted to be the head honcho, he want to dance in the videos, he want to be the star in all the music videos, he want to be the head honcho. Brother, you couldn't advertise your business. That's why you had to get Tendernism to do a little flavor, put a little flavor in there.
What is good, y'all? YD here, back with another video, and today we're gonna talk about how they got rid of Unc, man. He got rid of Unc, man, and there's so much more we gotta talk about too with Unc, man. So let's go ahead and get into it. And also, we're gonna be listening to Young Don Reacts and also Pink Lessons. So let's get into it.
So let's go ahead and talk about this Tenderism debacle. I now know it's actually pronounced Tendernism, so yeah, just bear with me for a little while, but it's Tendernism, not Tenderism. But apparently we have this Unc right here, although he's really an elder, who is very popular on TikTok, on Food Talk, because he has just gone viral for showing off how good he is at smoking meat, cooking meat. Let's just take a look real quick. Apparently, some people are doing this man very wrong, though. That's what this video is about, right? They got him on some fucking get out type shit. You know what I'm saying? This nigga is trapped. And he has some colonizers, right, that are exploiting him, right? They were exploiting him. He's not being properly compensated. These are the things that people are saying. Is that true? We will find out. But first, just in case you're not familiar, here is a sample. Here's a sample of what made this man famous.
Y'all think we was playing though. See this brisket here?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So if it...
Wow. That shit falling right off the bone.
I want to make sure y'all see the clarity on it.
Oh God.
Look. I told you.
Yeah. Now, if you're gonna get heart disease, that's the way to do it. Yeah. No, for sure.
I just want to see if they tip.
Goodness gracious. That's that oxtail right there.
So that was a quick little backstory on Unc and how he became popular and such. So on this next clip, I'm gonna show you guys, Don is gonna show us the whole Keith Lee incident on what popped off most of the drama. Let's get into it.
The internet fell in love with him. Well, fast forward to not too long ago, enter Keith Lee. This guy, very famous, he's a food reviewer, a food critic. He finally goes to this restaurant where the Tenderism guru, fucking the Yoda nigga that be, you know, cooking this meat. He goes there to finally review this restaurant. And, well, let's just take a listen and see how it went.
Me and my family are currently in Marietta, California. And this, in my opinion, is the most anticipated video I've ever done. In my hand is food from Destination Smokehouse, Unc with the Tenderism. My whole mission today to see, in my opinion, is the food actually Tenderism, or do I just love watching Unc? Let's find out together. I got it, let's try it, and rate 1 through 10. We spent $129.77. That barbecue sauce is sweet, and I think exactly that's what it needs. Again, a little more salt would take this a long way, but as is, I'm at a 7.5 out of 10. This might be the Tenderisms that we were talking about.
I'm not a big brisket guy, you know? I'm not a brisket to me is like, it's cool, but I'm not a big brisket guy. It takes a lot to impress me with brisket.
Just oxtail.
Oxtail though? Yeah, that's my shit. Okay. So the oxtail's falling off the bone.
It's tender now. Now that's tender. That's the meat.
Now oxtail is usually tender though, so that's not very surprising.
Where's that?
Now if I had glasses, I'm throwing the glasses on the floor. That is delicious. Fantastic, man. Actually, tender, juicy, peppery, smoky, salty. That might be the best oxtail I've ever had.
Nice.
It's top 3 and it ain't 3. I'm supposed to be tasting.
So he goes on to do the full review, and all in all, he gives it a pretty good score. He enjoyed the service, he enjoyed the food, but this leads us to where the controversy actually starts.
For me, the standout is absolutely the oxtail. But past oxtail, the standout is Unc. Not only in my opinion is it extremely hard to get people engaged like that, to show your true personality, to be yourself, no matter how fast things take off in the space. I don't think he intended for it to go the way it's going.
All right, so he says we went in to have a conversation with Unk to leave him a $5,000 tip. Plus leave $1,000 to pay for anybody in line. Wow.
I think he just wants to show his love of food and his love of what it is that he's doing. I'm personally taking $5,000 out of my own bank, and we going to say happy holidays to Unk. So, update. We could not get to Unk. Security said it was over with for the day. They said that he was filming something. I believe he was filming a podcast. We had $5,000 in cash, or $4,000 in cash that we was gonna give him a hand. They didn't take it, so we not only gonna take this money and feed some people, but we just gonna do what we feel like we're supposed to do in the community. And as always, after this, I pray and hope that they continue to reach their target audience. God bless you. Have an amazing day. Y'all be safe.
So after the Keith Lee incident went on, Unk couldn't get his money and whatnot. This next clip I'm about to show you guys, Don's going to show us basically the rebuttal of what the owner from the place and Mr. Tendernism himself had to say about the whole situation.
As a result of this backlash, they sat down and decided to respond to the situation. And here's what was said.
If I would have known he was here, I would have probably asked Edie to stop for a few seconds so we could go over there. That's what I would have done. But ever since I reached out to him, I've gotten zero response. I thought I was very respectful. From what I've watched from the review, it just didn't seem like he really captured what it's like when you come to this place. It's just disappointing that as popular as people can be on social media, people don't know everybody. Sorry, brother.
Hey, that's all right. Hey, look here.
So he essentially just said, oh shit, if I knew Keith Lee, if this was Keith Lee, I would have stopped the show and given him an even better experience.
But that's what we need to do in this podcast. He's sitting in with us. Then that way we can clear all this stuff up. Like I am, in a sense, a little older than a little bit, not much now. And so, you know, hey, I want to get it in over. Let don't be candy coated. Let's just sit down, gentleman conversation, you know, drink some Kool-Aid and something together, and we eat some of these oxtails.
Now, when I first watched the clip of Unk talking and stuff and telling his side, I instantly took to like, what is he talking about? Like, I don't think Unk is all the way there, you know, mentally getting up there in age. Not saying he's dumb or slow, but I'm talking about he's getting up there in age, and you know, he can't really think clearly for himself, because sometimes you think someone has, you know, your best interests at heart, and they're taking advantage of you low key. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, Unk is tripping. Unk, what is Unk talking about? First of all, Kool-Aid. Who's still drinking Kool-Aid in 2025, 2026? Who's still drinking Kool-Aid, bro? Who? You know what I'm saying? You need to go get some help. Who's drinking Kool-Aid still? Talking about you can drink some Kool-Aid, eat some oxtails. Unk, you're tripping. But these next clips that I'm gonna show you is all people, you know, pretty much putting their 2 cents in on how they feel, you know, from their point of view, what they see going on, just like me. But let's go ahead and get into it.
Now, I don't know about y'all, but I'm tired of Calvin Candy and Steven at that Tendernism restaurant.
Oh, wow.
Because I know they didn't get on here and check Keith Lee. After Keith Lee gave them an honest review and tried to tip Steven that $4,000 and leave $1,000 for customers. Now, I like Unk. He made that business a lot of money. He put that business on the map.
For
but
sure.
Let me tell y'all something, man. Unk don't want to be saved.
Oh, yeah.
Unk do not want to be saved. He used to where he at. He like where he at. I feel like that man has been being used. He gonna continue to be used, and he like to be used. You can't lead a horse to the water and make him drink. That man don't want to leave that restaurant. He done put in too much time. He done put in too much effort. And one thing for certain, that owner knows that. But for them not to let that man get that $4,000 tip, that should tell y'all everything y'all need to know about how Calvin run that restaurant.
Now, one thing I do disagree with what he said is Unk don't want to be saved. I don't think Unk know that he need to be saved. You know, I don't think Unk fully is aware of what's going on with the situation. You know, I don't think Unk understand how big it is and how today's money work, like far as monetizing with videos. And I don't think he understands that. You know what I'm saying? And then, like he said, I don't know if he's probably getting compensated or or whatever for the situation. But
moment has passed with Keith Lee going back to Tendernism. That moment is done for. Not only did the owner come off ungrateful with his response, he just got Tendernism sitting there looking like he don't know up from down and left from right. Please stop saying tenderism. It's Tendernism with the N. Tendernism. The fact that the owner even had the audacity to have a response.
Tendernism. Got it.
On his video talking about, oh, if we would have known, we would have made sure everything was right. That's the whole point. That's the Keith Lee effect, to go into restaurants and not get treated no type of way and see if the food really is what the food is supposed to be or not.
Right.
Then to say, oh, he had the food and that's not really what it's about. I just really am disappointed in that. You're disappointed that your food is plain. That's what you're disappointed in? That you didn't have the prep time to prep it correctly for an influencer? That's what you're disappointed in, because he gave an honest review with the food that he got. It's just such a bad look when these business owners come back with a rebuttal video, not being grateful for the business that Keith is bringing to your establishment anyway, not being grateful for all the things he did outside of your establishment to all of your customers, not expressing your gratitude that he paid for people to come eat at your establishment. No, not that. You had the nerve to say that you're disappointed? Come on now. Come on now. And you try to flip it like, oh, well, let's have you on the podcast and sit down and clear things up. Clear what up? He came, tried the food. The food was basic. He left money not only to your business, but to the patrons coming to eat at your business. And you couldn't even take the time to express gratitude for that? I would never step foot back in there, ever.
I don't know. It's something about Mr. Tenderism in the owner video, bro. It ain't sitting well with me. And I know a lot of y'all were saying, like, everybody don't want to be an owner and own their own place. And, like, everybody can't. And might not want to. That might not be his desire. Like, I'm cool with him just doing what he do with the, you know, barbecue. But it just seemed like the owner is like, dang, we missed the opportunity for him to game, not more so And just seeing like, just sitting there like, dang, I had a chance to get $4,000 tip. Like, I don't know. I don't know, bro. It some look off of that video, bro. And to be honest, I saw the owner's response before I even seen Keith Lee's review, and I'm thinking, dang, you know, Keith usually respectful. Like, what did he say? And then I go watch Keith Lee video, and I'm like, dang, like the way the owner responded was like, Keith said something disrespectful, because at the end of his response, he's like, well, I thought I was being respectful. You know, I'm like, I don't know. It ain't sitting well with my spirit, you know.
Oh, let me get this straight. You're telling me that Mr. Tendernism don't own the restaurant that has gone viral because of the meat falls off of the bone?
Boy, look here. This is Tendernism at its best.
And that this man is the owner? So this whole time, we thought Unc was the one who was getting the profits, the benefits, the financial rewards, but yet it's the owner. Unc ain't nothing but the mascot.
Yeah.
Unc ain't nothing but the face of the restaurant.
Uncle Ben, Aunt Jemima, all over again.
Unc got the secret recipe. Now that Keith Lee exposed them in an indirect way, because God works in mysterious ways. Let me tell you what happened in case you missed it for the people in the back. Keith Lee, the famous food reviewer, went to the restaurant to try the food for the first time and to also leave Unc a $4,000 tip. But Mr. Tendernism was busy and security said no. I don't care what you say anymore. This is my life. And then after the fact, the owner found out what happened, and then he made a video.
If I would have known he was here, I would have probably asked Edie to stop for a few seconds so we could go over there. That's what I would have done. But ever since I reached out to him, I've gotten zero response.
That video looked like a hostage situation.
We thought he was a regular customer, so we treated him like a bag of dog shit.
And that's how all of this came to the light. So now we have learned that Unc ain't nothing but the cook. We at least thought that he was a partner.
I hope and I pray that he's getting compensated handsomely.
How much is Unc making? Did Unc at least get a $25,000 bonus for all the money that has come into this restaurant? So let me explain why people are upset and this story is going viral. It's because this is way too familiar to people like us, where we don't get the credit, but we doing all the work in the back. And so now, effective immediately, this restaurant is canceled. The 15 minutes of fame is over, baby. Because now we all know the truth. Who's really banking from this restaurant? And it ain't Mr. Tendernism.
Oh, yeah.
There's a lot of people visible on social media. To offer a tip to a business owner was crazy. That was the other thing too, is like he really thinks Walt is like this helpless guy who needs his help. How are you going to tip a business owner? Tip the whole staff.
Come on, guys, we're sorry. If we knew someone famous was in the store, we would have treated him like a king. We thought he was a regular customer, so we treated him like a bag of dog. I mean, what do you want us to do? Is that seriously your apology?
So allegedly, they have fired Unc from Destination Smokehouse, Mr. Tenderism himself. That's what I said. Allegedly, they had fired Unc from the Tenderism Destination Smokehouse, because all he was the face of it anyway. Because of Keith Lee, we found out that y'all was already cutting the meat off the bone to make it tender. Sides ain't hitting on nothing, but the oxtails were good, and we don't even know who was cooking them because it wasn't Unc. But come to find out, he done got rid of Unc to try to steal the trademark Tenderism. That's right.
I know everybody is going in on this Smokehouse Destination with Unc and them, but I just got one thing to say that's been bothering me. It's Tendernism, not Tenderism. Tenderniz. Put the knee. I'm talking about put the knee in the niz. Tendernism.
So the owner of Destination Smokehouse, who used Unc, aka Mr. Tendernism, to get extremely famous and make a whole lot of money for his restaurant, looks like he's replaced Mr. Tendernism, Unc. And now we see him all the time. Not only do we see him all the time, now we see other people that we have never seen before on all the videos.
So as you see, the whole black community is up in the uproar right now over all of the drama that's around this situation. But I have a few little points I want to hit on before, you know what I'm saying, I get up out of here, whatnot. The first thing is the owner copyrighted the word Tendernism. So therefore, whoever uses it has to pay him. And then not only that, you got rid of Mr. Tendernism. So it's like, you know what I'm saying, you used him, then you kicked him to the curb. I could see him, you know, giving Unc a nice lump sum and letting him go. You know what I'm saying? And he goes spend his days with his people because, you know, he's going to make way more money than what he gave Unc. You know what I'm saying? And then the crazy part is everybody's mad that Unc was just a worker. Everybody thought he was like a co-partner or that was his place. Nah, Unc was just a worker. And it's like, I'm pretty sure as soon as they brought to the light of him, you know, being just a worker and whatnot, and he ain't getting paid like he's supposed to, like a partner, coming up with all those ideas, bringing all these people in. And then the tip part, how you gonna tell him, well, I don't feel like you should be giving people tips and you ain't giving it to everybody? That's not how it always works. That's not how life works. That's not everything works. You gotta share it. I'm the owner. And it don't look right, but yeah, he still wanted it. And then, like I said, they allegedly fired Unc. I hope they didn't fire him, you know what I'm saying? I hope he like on vacation or something. But I can see him getting Unc out the picture. That way he can have less of a headache on trying to figure out how to split all the money and everything with Unc. And then the last thing I want to say is, like, they always use us as the mascot, you know what I'm saying? Because we make everything we do look cool. Everything we do look cool. And they love it, you know what I'm saying? Anything you can think of, you put our face on it, we're going to make it look cool and everybody's going to want to be a part. Just like Popeye's Chicken, man. We thought that black lady was the lady that owned Popeye's Chicken. They put her as a face on there, you know what I'm saying? And lo and behold, a white woman in the background. I done seen that many a time. They be in the hood and they be having good fish and chicken spots. And lo and behold, it's either Mexicans or some Arabs, you know what I'm saying, running the spot because they know what we like. And that's sad and that's crazy. But appreciate y'all for tuning in. And until next time, I'm out of here, y'all.